Heavyweight boxing fans, what's the deal? So I just seen Dillian Whyte, he came out, he was talking about that, hey man, I want to fight Luis Ortiz. Even went on to say that, Luis Ortiz never wanted that work with me. It's pretty much what he was saying in that article that I read on Boxing Scene, man. And he was saying that he wants to fight Luis Ortiz December 22nd. Before I get into what I'm gonna say, I'm actually play something that I posted on my page that I got off of Dillian Whyte's Instagram account. The name of the video, I titled it Dillian Whyte says he'd KO Luis Ortiz under 6th round for a shot at the title, at Deontay Wilder's title. I posted this May 15th of this year. All right. Let me just play this real quick. What he said May 15th.
So,
What's
quick
good,
question to
y'all?
Deontay Wilder. He said if you
Listen to
fight
this.
Luis Ortiz and beat him, you'll fight me. No, I ain't got no problem with that. I got one request. Send us an email or a contract to me or to Matchroom saying if Dylan White fight Luis Ortiz and beat him, I'll fight him next. I won't dodge him. I won't fight anyone else. I'll fight Dylan White next. If you do that, I'll fight Luis Ortiz and I'll smash his head in inside 6 rounds, and then we can make the fight. Be a man. Don't be a bitch. Man up and let's make the fight happen. I've accepted your terms. You'll fight Luis Ortiz. I said I'll fight him, but you have to guarantee you'll fight me next. Let's get it on. That's it. Send a quick email, guaranteed and signed, and then I'll fight Luis Ortiz. I guarantee I'll knock him out quicker than you did. I'll knock him out in 6 rounds. I'll smash that old man to bits. Right.
Woo! He talking that shit, wasn't he? Smash him to bits. That sounds good until it's actually time to make the fight. Look, man, I'm not trying to paint Luis Ortiz out to be the second coming of anything, right? The man has lost before. We have seen him defeated before, right? But my thing is, man, whether you want to, and I know people joke around, oh, he's 77 years old. I've read a lot of comments today saying that he's overrated and so on and so forth, right? I've heard Jarrell Miller say, oh, I'll fight him, but they gotta give me, more than 4 weeks to train for him. He say that they offered him to fight Luis Ortiz a couple years ago. This is when Luis Ortiz was looking to fight, and they had the guy they ended up getting to fight him, who was stepping in the ring, was Tony Thompson. It was around that time. Jarrell Miller say, yeah, man, I was going to fight him, but they only gave me 4 weeks to train. But I'll fight him though. Andrew Ruiz Jr. I'll fight him. They just gave me 4 weeks to train, but I'll fight him though if they give me more time. Okay. Joe Joyce, he just called out Luis Ortiz. Was that in August after Ortiz beat what's my man's name? Razvan Canano. He said, oh, I'll fight him. I mean, not next, but I'll fight him. Next for Joe Joyce was a fight that he just had against Lago Kilazzi. Now, hey, maybe it may turn out that Joyce, still wants to fight him for December 1st. I'm not saying that he stepped away from that, but when he called him out that time in August, he's like, I'll fight him, but just not next. I'm going to fight somebody else next for my debut in the U.S. Okay, fair enough. Uh, I've heard the story before, man. It's always, oh, I'll fight him, or he ain't, but not next, or well, they gotta give me more time for this, or whatever it is, man. And this is another one of them types of situations, right? Oh, I'll fight him on December 22nd when we know he's trying to get somebody for December 1st on the pay-per-view. We know that, right? I'm going to the fight. Flights booked, hotels booked, got the ticket yesterday. So I'm ready, set to go. I'm not really going as an interviewer, but I will obviously do some lives from LA and all that stuff, man. But I'm not about to be, going around getting interviews from people, man. I'm just going as just a pure fan to a big fight, man. I said once a huge heavyweight fight hits the States, and yes, Ortiz and Wilder was one I wanted to go to. I just couldn't make it to that one. But I know when Klitschko, and I'm gonna get back to what I'm talking about, but I know when Klitschko and Joshua was uh, saying that there's going to be a possibility that their rematch could be in Vegas, I was going to go to that fight. Obviously, if Joshua and Wilder would have happened here, I'll go to that fight. You know what I mean? Um, So Fury Wilder, I'm going to the fight, man. So for me as a fan, speaking just for me, I'm gonna be greedy. Speaking for me, I want to see Luis Ortiz on December 1st. Now UK fans, of course, y'all want to see him fight White, be the, could be the main event December 22nd. Who knows? He could possibly make more money or whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? You can make more money there, and that'd be your argument for that. But for me, I want to see him December 1st, and against Dillian Whyte, preferably. That'd be great. All right, now when I read the Dillian Whyte article on Boxing, because Luis Ortiz responded with what did he say? Man up or strap up and let's make the fight. The shit that I read though, it seemed like his team wrote that. You know what I mean? He was like, you should have respect your elders and all that type of shit, which kind of plays into the joke that fans keep calling him, 70 years old, Luis Ortiz or whatever, right? But pretty much as he rebutted saying that, hey, regardless of what it said in the article, what his team wrote for him or whatever, in a nutshell, let's fight December 1st. What do you fucking mean December 22nd, man? I mean, this goes back to, I'll fight him, but on my terms. You know what I mean? When you know that he needs a fight for a set date. All right. So the article I read with Dillian Whyte, and Dillian Whyte, to his credit, has some solid wins under his belt, man. Chisora Helenius, first person to give Lucas Brown an L, and the fight over Parker. All right. I like that. You know, uh, and I can't get mad at Dillian Whyte because he wants to fight. I can't get mad at Dillian Whyte because he wants to fight Deontay Wilder. That's great that he wants to fight him. You know what I mean. I do think if let's say Tyson Fury pulled out for December 1st, I do think Dillian Whyte would swim over here. You know what I mean, across the ocean to get that fight. I do believe that. You know what I mean. I know that he wants to fight Deontay Wilder. All right. Um, but it seems as if he wants to do it his own terms. Like he's creating his own eliminator. Parker, yeah, you beat Joseph Parker coming off a loss. That was a good win for you. It was a good back and forth scrap. Yes, you beat Lucas Brown, but but my thing is like, who told you if you beat them, that's going to get you closer to a title shot? And he argues that he didn't want to fight Ortiz because you remember the WBC ordered him to fight Ortiz, and it'll be the second mandatory. I know he's a silver champion, and I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm not saying what the WBC is doing is right, but that's what they're telling him to do. You can't just fight Parker or fight X, Y, and Z and say, "Well, I beat this guy; it should get me closer." When that wasn't it. That's not what they ordered. They ordered you to fight Luis Ortiz if you're trying to get closer to Wilder. Do I think Dominic Brazil deserves to be mandatory? No, I've already went over that part. I think we can all agree as fans that Brazil versus White should have happened months ago. Instead of them even making Helenius versus White and Molina versus Brazil, they should have just made Brazil versus White or have those guys fight immediately after those fights that they had so we wouldn't have this damn problem. All right. But during the article I read though, Dillian Whyte though, man, he's painting some false narratives though, man. Like in our article, he said that well, Wilder fought Gavin before his title shot. You're right, he did. That's a fact. But you're painting the narrative of it's like as if Wilder and Gavin was the final eliminator. Wilder fought Gavin, what was that, August of 2014? He already became the mandatory challenger to the winner, or the winner of the Areola Stavern. Their fight took place May of 2014. Wilder beat Malik Scott March of 2014. The winner of that fight was set to fight the winner out of Areola Stavern. If you go watch Wilder and Gavin on YouTube right now, and you look up old articles, they tell you it's a stay busy fight. Wilder already has the title shot lined up. He just didn't want to be out the ring for a long amount of time waiting, for his shot at Stavern. He wanted to just stay sharp. Gavin took that fight on 6 days' notice. They were even talking about if they should put the fight on TV. Who doesn't know this? But you can't, because there's some fans that really think like, oh, he beat Gavin to get his title shot. No, that's not true. Him and Malik Scott they fought. The winner of that earned the title shot. Him fighting Gavin was just really to stay busy, just Who doesn't know this, man? This is like just like common. If you were watching the division around then, and even if you weren't, you can just go look it up. Go watch the fight. They talk about it. Look, man, I like Dillian White. I've said this hundreds of times, y'all. Even before we really started the UK, USA going back and forth here on YouTube with the fans, Miller versus White is still one of the top fights I want to see. I really do like Dillian White, man. But this whole the way other fighters are behaving, in my opinion, when it comes to getting to fight Luis Ortiz on certain dates or when they need him to fight him, it's just getting annoying, man. Again, I'm not painting him out to be the second coming, but this is getting annoying. It's getting real fucking annoying. And then, White goes on to say, who's his best win? A win over Malik Scott? I guess it depends on who you ask, Dillian, because I think his best win is a win over Jennings. I think, is his best win. And that was a 50-50-ish fight going into the fight. I remember doing the video for it. It was kind of mixed. There were some fans going saying Jennings, a lot of Luis Ortiz beat. Luis Ortiz couldn't have went 12 rounds. Remember, guys, this was during that time. I'm not saying now we can talk about it, but around that time, late 2015-ish, was that no late 2015 when so I think Jennings and Ortiz fought December 2015, I believe. But anyways, people were talking about Luis Ortiz would have probably got smashed against Klitschko because remember Jennings had just came off his loss to Klitschko. He went 12, actually won some rounds. I thought Klitschko won the fight convincingly, but it was competitive. Had the spots of being where it was competitive during the fight. You know what I mean? But it's just getting sickening, man. Again, is there somebody out there that can possibly defeat Luis Ortiz? Of course. But it's just the way of trying to get the guys in there. It's like they're like, it's getting annoying. It's like they're clawing and scratching. You're like pulling somebody down the hallway to the ring. It's like they're clawing against the wall. Like, no, don't take me. I'm getting tired of our fight on, man. We need you December 1st. That's the date he needs you. December 1st, not December 22nd. And we all know this. But I think Dillian Whyte has a good chance of getting there's heard the talks about Dillian Whyte possibly, getting a rematch with what's my man's name? AJ, the unified title holder. And that's that's good for Dillian Whyte, man. Get his rematch, get some title shots. Then I'm also hearing for December they're talking about maybe the Chisora rematch first. And that's a good fight. A lot of people thought Chisora won that fight. Chisora's coming off a win over Takum. I like that. If Chisora fights White, I think it's gonna be another what they say in the UK, cracker. It's gonna be another crack. Is that gonna be another good fight? I'm not saying that this dude isn't, in my opinion, an exciting heavyweight to watch. I like his trash talk. I like all that. But I don't agree with this. I don't agree with I'll fight him, but it's gonna be December 22nd though. When they need you for December 1st on pay-per-view. And like I said, look, man, sometimes we gotta speak for ourselves as fans. And I'm speaking for myself. I want to see Luis Ortiz December 1st because I'm going to the fights. You know what I mean? So I want to see him on that undercard. We got 100 people in the building. That's what's up, man. Let me get some more thumbs up, man. If you don't mind. Or thumbs it down. If you don't agree with me, that's fine too. We don't always have to agree, man. But and for those of you that that's gonna say and bring up, I haven't read the comments, but I know somebody's gonna he beat this guy, and this guy. Dominic Brazil doesn't deserve. I'm not saying Dominic Brazil deserves the mandatory. I've said that a trillion times on multiple videos. But what Dillian Whyte also can't do is make up his own fights that he thinks that's going to get him a title shot. You just can't do that. You can't, the WBC can't say, okay, hey man, we want you to fight Ortiz. You'll be the second mandatory. We gave it to Brazil. I know it's bullshit. They gave it to him. You can't say, all right, I'll fight AJ Cabello. Or I'm gonna fight Parker. You didn't fight Cabello, but you know what I'm saying? You can't just pick and choose on guys you want to fight. And the Parker win, regardless of sanctioned body ranking, I will say that the Parker win was against a legit top 10. So I'll give him some relief on that. Because I do think Parker is a legit top 10 fighter, even probably higher than that. Some people may not have him that high. But I think he's a legit top 10, legit. So I get that part. but he was coming off a loss. Um, you know what I mean? So I don't know, man. December 1st is when I want to see this, not December 22nd. See what y'all talking about, man. I can't stay long. It's just oh yeah. And one other thing, I'll probably end up reading this, y'all, when I look at the archives, man, because I don't have a lot of time right now. But also seen there's a lot of fights taking place this weekend, heavyweights. I'll be going over a lot of them. I'm gonna jump off here, man. But I seen that Jarrell Miller is gonna outweigh Thomas Adamek by 90 pounds tomorrow night. 90. Holy shit, man. But that's Jarrell Miller. You know, he comes in at 300 pounds. No. Uh, all right, y'all. My kids just walked in, man. My dog going crazy in the back. So going to do the daddy thing right now, man. But I will be back. I'm going to talk about the other heavyweight fights taking place this weekend. I'll probably do that tomorrow. I will be on tomorrow. And we'll chop it up about heavyweights then, man. But I'll read y'all comments. Y'all let me know what you think, man. I'm gone.